Last week, I had the incredible opportunity to play in the World Team Championship in New Jersey. I represented Kings and Queens Chess Academy because my coach, Grandmaster Magesh Panchanathan, is the head of the Chess Academy, and he is just an incredible coach. He's won many strong events, and was even one of the coaches for Abhimanyu Mishra, the youngest Grandmaster in the world. So it was just so much fun having an opportunity to come up there, learn from him in person, and play some games for his team. And here are my teammates. There are all. He put me on a team of child prodigies. This is Carter and Cooper Ho. Both of them are 12 years old, rated close. To, Carter's no Cooper is 12 years old. Carter is younger. Both rated at around 2000. Top few won championships in their age groups. Best players at their age, and I think Kundan over here is 7 years old, and I think he's like the highest rated 7 year old in the country, or one of them. And then there's me bringing up the rear. A little bit of a rating difference there. We're not going to dwell on that. Um, but it was an incredible experience to play with these really talented kids and learn from everyone. And let's see how the tournament went. Here's a view of the tournament hall. You can see there's so many people, and we play side by side next to each other. There's all my teammates. Great bunch. So the first game of the tournament was a complete joke. Our team just beat up some lower rated players. I won like my game in 10 minutes. So then we moved on to playing a higher ranked team in the second game. So definitely the underdogs in this one. So let's see what happens. And here's where he makes a fatal mistake. He takes and I take. So we've taken a knight. He took the pawn with our knight. We took it back, so we took a pawn for a knight. And now his plan is to take this bishop. I have to take back and then get his knight back. So no matter what happens, I'm gonna lose this knight. So he takes this bishop. So instead of just letting him capture this knight, I have the time to make an in-between move. So I make a brilliant move here, and I take this pawn. And I take this pawn, and I'm attacking the rook. So he has to capture the knight back. I trade the queens. Then I take the bishop. So now, because of that in between move I put in, I'm up a pawn. So I actually saw this, before he even played e5. I knew that if he played e5, I could go for this.
A few moments later.
All these open lines, and his rooks are moving in to murder my king and all my pawns, which is exactly what happens. So I don't have much time, so I just try to find a way to block the rook. It's not the best move. What I should have done is tried to get my king out of here this way and hold and defend this point. So now he checks there, goes there, takes, and at this point, the what I should have done is again try to escape this way, but with the few seconds I have left, I'm just not thinking of making a passive king move. I try to block, and as soon as I made this move, I realized the game was lost. I saw that after trading those rooks, now he's going to get all those pawns from behind. I get those two pawns, but he's left with two pawns that are connected, and I'm left with one. And my one pawn is just not fast enough to do. Actually, he doesn't play that move. He puts his rook behind here. My pawn is stopped, and he pushes these pawns to win. And I just spent about 5 hours of mental torture, letting down my team, letting down myself from a winning position. Um, Everyone was watching. I was just, yeah, it was pretty rough. And now it's 12:30 at night, and I have to sleep on this. So, the tilt and the madness is starting to happen. I would say after this game. So woke up bright and early after that heartbreaking loss, and luckily we played an easy team in that third round. We all beat them easily. Game's not worth showing. So then in the fourth round, we were 3.5 out of 4. And we again faced an incredibly tough team that had just been beating everyone. So we put again, I was outrated by a few hundred points, and it was really up to me to try to pull the upset here, especially since I'm playing white. Play a great move. The whole point of this idea was that I move maneuver my knight from here to here so it can come in here to attack all these squares and give my rook an opening. So that's what happens. I get my rook in, I get my knight in, I'm threatening all these squares in front of the king, but it's not obvious, how I'm gonna break through and win this game. Yeah, the computer loves my position, but I can't calculate thousands of variations and moves in my head instantly to figure out the knockout blow.
A few moments later.
I'm just spending the 2-3 minutes I have left to try to find like a concrete tactical blow to win the game, and just I just have a couple of minutes, so I'm just like, let me stick with that idea I was trying to make work. Let's take a couple of these pawns and try to attack the king. And as you can see, I went from being +6, plus a couple, +1 or +2 is automatically winning. And the fact that I sacrificed the knight and have like +6 means that the king is gonna die. And it's +7 here. So this is where I missed the knockout blow. And instead, I lose my knight for a couple pawns. I don't really have any attack left. My queen can try to get in this way, but this rook will just come and kick her out. So I got nothing here, and I have like less than a minute left, and I don't have any attack, and my opponent has an extra piece, and I go on to lose in the most frustrating fashion possible, Again, so that what I should have done is not just like, even if I didn't calculate this whole way through, this move makes so much sense. I'm putting so much pressure on this pawn. Let me undermine the base of that chain and let that pawn die. And if the king went this way, my queen would have just come and checkmated. So, and if the king tries to run this way, I believe the best move here is to get the queen in, and if the queen tries to run, I can go here. King's cut off, has to block. Then I'm going to put all these on the same line. Take, and take. I distracted the king away from the defense of the queen, and the game's over. So I missed all that. And I think the lesson is that, yes, these subtle in-between moves are important, but I would have gotten an aggressive position no matter even if I just made, common sense moves. I didn't need to overthink these ideas, play them quickly, and give myself that 20-30 minutes to calculate this tactic. Because, I think in 30 minutes I would have seen this move. Again, playing at night, I played this game, I think, went another 5 hours till 1 in the morning. And I went from completely crushing my opponent and well, the rest of my team lost too, so my game didn't really matter for the team score, but would have mattered for my individual score. And I was just starting to lose confidence in myself. I was just like, no matter how good of a position I get, no matter how well I attack, I just can't win. Show up for the last game, gotta make something happen. And my team really needs this win, because in this game I'm the higher rated player for once, while my other teammates were a bit outmatched, so I really need to win this one.
A few moments later.
Tiredness really showed. Play this terrible move. It's an instant blunder. Doesn't quite just lose the knight on the spot, but what happens is the queen will take, I will take, and I thought, okay, after taking the knight, I can take this bishop from behind, like so. But I missed an important idea by my opponent, and that is you can take this bishop first, and now my rooks are lined up, and it's going to be lost along with my knight, so I'm just going to lose a piece. And I've completely blown it for my team. I have completely blown it for myself, losing to a lower rated player. This is just an absolute disaster. Like at this point, I just completely lose my mind. But then I remember, wait a second. I've lost so many games to higher rated opponents, even though I was crushing them at some point. There are going to be lots of opportunities for mess up. How can I find a way to put the most pressure on her? So I realized that I'm going to lose these pieces no matter what. So I'm just going to take this opportunity to make an aggressive move and put pressure on her position. So I play here and starting to put pressure, and then she has to take the rook, and that allows me to get my knight in. So now I'm attacking all these pieces. Forces me to trade these rooks, and suddenly this game, she has a couple extra pawns, but they're pretty weak. And my king is able to come into the position much faster than hers because of this knight blocking. And notice how my knight is on a light square, so the dark square bishop can't do anything. So I get my king in. And now, with my king in the center of the board, I calculate all this ahead. I can take this pawn, and I'm fast enough to get this pawn. And the only way white can barely get a draw is if she moves the king to keep an eye on this pawn. So I know in this position, I can get a draw if she plays perfectly, and I have a better chance at winning. So she doesn't understand the critical move, and I had a feeling she wouldn't. Give your opponent as many chances to mess up as you can. Now I have a clear pawn to keep the king occupied. I'll go get this pawn, and then this pawn will promote, and that's exactly what happens. And I turned around a game in which I was completely losing, down a couple pawns. And with this win, the team was tied 1.5 points to 1.5 points. So my win was crucial to us winning the entire match, getting the full point for the match, and that gave us a total score of 4.5 out of 6 points. And we're just 1.1 point away from tying for first place. But we were the highest team in our rating range, so we got a big prize for that. We got a championship prize for that under 1800 section. And so that is 2 tournaments and 2 championships. And I was able to come in clutch at the end, turn the tables, and get a big win for the team. So here I'm playing a 2500 rated chess master, really near the top, and the odds are is that I have 3 minutes to his 1 minute. So he only has 1 minute to make all of his moves. I have 3 minutes, so that gives me a bit of a chance. But as you can see, I'm kind of slow and don't know what I'm doing, and well, we'll see how it ends.
Oh, this is like some type of Alicon. I don't know what the heck this is. It's like a
big shout out to National Master James Canty, who is streaming this live and commentating on the game. Definitely check out his Twitch channel. He's a lot of fun.
Okay, get up out there, Bishop E3. You like the F4 and that type of thing? Okay, nice. Oh shit, max on, max off. I swear. You funny boy. Fake take. We playing black. Playing black. Aaron come. 2500.
Check to the queen.
2500.
He just moves the pieces physically so incredibly fast, and I'm trying to keep up. He's not knocking out.
He been working a long time. He been working. Huh? No, mine is online 22. I'm like 20, 23. What up, bro? What's good? What up?
For free or for money?
Huh?
For free or for money?
No, this for free.
Good early on.
Ah! Fear to hurt Trevor.
What game are you watching?
Follow, bro. Sean Martinez right here. Big
Yeah, the
Sean.
force,
What
man.
up?
Yo, we got the parents, you
Yeah,
heard?
you know. Oh, we got the parent?
Wait, the parents are up already?
Damn. Ooh, that's bad. Right. Oh, that's not good. I mean, that's good, but it's like we got the prep. You're the force. Right there.
15, white.
White against 15. They're playing
1989.
Lee Kim. Oh, Lee Kingsman.
Long Island Kingsman, I think.
Oh, I was looking for Mike. Like, yo, Mike.
They like 4 dinosaurs.
Mike know the thing. He got the whole thing. Lee Kingsman. But
Bishops are better than Knights, in case you were wondering.
we playing white, right?
Especially in this position.
Alright, bet.
Like the one game with Magnus first. Magnus had the Knights, Miller had the Bishops, and Magnus ended up winning.
Good.
Yeah, but that guy's not that good at chess. You should review my blitz games and mistake.
It's probably
You got next. You then.
I get online,
You get on next, and then he back in there. He playing every time. Every single time. Go ahead, Sean.
See, Bishops are way better than Knights.
It was a high class
Like
waiting.
our generation.
Yeah. He grew up with us. Well, he grew up. He's from Michigan.
This is where I make the fatal mistake. I just have a
follow
few
art.
seconds left trying to just make a move as best I can. And I let him threaten my knight, so it has to move. And so my other knight will be taking next turn. So instead of that, I just take with my rook, but then I'm down a rook. So I just lose all my pieces and collapse with 10 seconds left.
One right there. Whoa.